It's that time again. The annual conference of the American Society of Ag Consultants, otherwise known as ASAC, is going to be held in Fort Myers, Florida, this November 4th and 5th. Kurt Covington is one of 9 professionals who will address the conference. The other speakers who will cover a wide range of topics represent Florida Farm Bureau, Florida Citrus Commission, University of Tennessee Institute of Agriculture, National Ag Law Center, Risk Mitigators and Advisors, Tyler Associates, as well as the lead economist for dairy at CoBank, and myself, Chrissy Wozniak from North American Ag. The day and a half of presentations will be followed by ag tours on Tuesday afternoon at Echo Farms, one of my favorite places here in Fort Myers. Attendees will experience farming at its most creative, with unique demonstrations, plants, and techniques being used to help farmers and urban gardeners in developing countries. A second tour at Echo will showcase simple technologies that can improve food, water, and shelter for millions of people. A third tour of a hydroponic grower is also being planned. For more information and to register, visit www.agconsultants.org. That's www.agconsultants.org. See you there. Today's Ag Spotlight episode is sponsored by Coolers. Make every day a cool day for your cows. The Coolers system allows you to control the cow's environment 24/7. For more information, go to NorthAmericanAg.com and find them in the Industry Connect section. Hi, and welcome to North American Ag Spotlight. I'm Chrissy Wozniak. My guests today are partners in Merrywater Dairy in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. I would like to welcome Brad and Ella Cower. How are you guys doing today?
Very good, thank you.
Doing great, thank you.
It's good. Thanks for joining me. So not only do you have a dairy, but you also have operate a berry farm, I understand.
We do. We operate a U-pick strawberry and blueberry farm,
Nice.
et cetera. A few other little things on the side, but
Yeah.
primarily strawberries and blueberries, yes.
Right. And so can you tell me a little bit about yourselves and your educational background and what you do?
We both grew up on farms. My father and my brother still milk on a dairy. I worked with them before I had the opportunity to join Merrywater. We've known each other for a long time through 4-H back when we were young, and then found each other again later on in life. So what else?
Neighboring farm kids
Neighboring farm
that
kids,
ended up
yeah.
marrying each other. Who knew?
Aw.
Yeah. Your education background.
I went to Madison for 3 years and doing a little education stuff ever since, I guess. So try to be active in PDPW and DBA and whatnot as much as I can.
Okay, well, echo a little bit of what Brad said. Farm kid, dairy farm kid, grew up on a small, very small farm. It's about 30 cows, and went on to attend UW River Falls and got a bachelor's of science in animal science with a dairy emphasis. Onward from there, worked at a large dairy, large at the time. It was milked about 500 cows for a few years. Kind of cut my teeth and learned a lot about more about cows, a lot about people, and then kind of moved back closer to my home farm and began working as a DHI field technician for AgSource at the time, and got reconnected with this fella here, got his family's herd on test, and started to hang around him a lot more. And then we decided to get married. Got 2 beautiful kids, boy and a girl, and we are pretty involved. We like to be pretty involved in agriculture, and
As much as you can these days, at least.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A little harder with all this COVID stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Remotely, yes. But we also own and operate the U-pick strawberry and blueberry farm. We get a chance to speak with consumers directly, and we really value that. We really enjoy talking with people and answering questions they might have about agriculture, understanding that there is a disconnect, even more so these days, and people don't typically know a farmer or get a chance to talk to food producers. So we really value that for sure.
Yeah, that's good. So, so what is the Livestock Trust Institute, and how did you become involved with Dr. Don Hoagland?
Well, I became involved with Dr. Don probably pushing a year and a half ago now. An industry associate told me that he was in Wisconsin now and doing some training things. And one day we were sitting down at the quarterly meeting and we were looking at some of our statistics that we had that we keep track of on dairy comp with in regards to cows that are sold and cows that die. And a big thing that stuck out were injuries. And at that point, it struck my memory that Dr. Don was doing some trainings around here. So we called him up and we started training with him. And we've seen a significant decrease in injuries, both in injuries and cows sold for reasons of injuries and cows that died or had to be euthanized because of injuries because of that.
Wow.
Very happy, that we've made our animal handling more consistent throughout the farm. I mean, every cow knows that they're going to be handled the same way, regardless of the person that is dealing with them.
Right.
So it's been very valuable for us.
Wow. And so how are technological advances in dairy management impacting cattle behavior and well-being?
That's an interesting question. Personally, I think that there are certain farms that have been some technological advances recently that have made cattle handling maybe just a little bit, not cattle handling, but diagnosing problems maybe just a little bit more hands-off. And our workforce in general right now is just not coming from animal backgrounds like they have in the past.
Right.
And so you've got a lot of people that have very little experience, and those people might move up the food chain very quickly if they can demonstrate even some basic understanding of how cattle actually operate. But it's my opinion that we have a lot of tools right now that help us out, that make it so we don't have to be out spending as much time looking at the cattle as we have in the past. Mm-hmm. However, that means that some people are not picking up the same skill set that they have in the past. So,
yeah, and safety on the dairy farm is paramount. How can livestock handling techniques affect the overall safety on the farm?
Safety is obviously a huge issue on any dairy farm. When the cattle are handled uniformly every day, the cow always knows what to expect. She's not going to be surprised if everybody is using the same technique. So therefore, you're going to have less of a chance that you're going to spook a cow or get her to do something that might cause harm to either herself or another person. I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. And yeah, it's very important for staff on farms to understand how to keep cows calm while moving them from, pen to parlor or separating them from the herd. So how exactly do you get the right training to your employees?
Well, it's all part of a program. You have to program both the staff and the cows.
Mm-hmm.
I train both the staff and the cows, I should say. The calves are trained, the animals are trained at a relatively young age, 4 to 5 months old. They take the training pretty well at that point. But from then on forward, as long as everybody's handling them consistently, the animal is going to react the same if you treat her the same. And that's really what we're shooting for.
Wow. All
the way up and down the food chain.
Right. Yeah. And so it doesn't matter the size of the dairy. It doesn't matter, if it's just small. Does it get outrageous with the larger dairies?
I think that cows are cows. Cows are cows no matter what size dairy they're on. And I think that probably most dairies have similar problems. Many dairies have facilities that are maybe not perfect. I know ours isn't. But if you handle these animals after they're trained, particularly, they're going to know how to react to how you're handling them, and they're going to act calmly, and they're going to basically do what you want them to do. without any surprises. I think that large and small dairies have the same challenges in handling animals safely and calmly, and it's a goal that we all share.
Yeah. Well, that's good. And so what advice would you have to other dairy farmers about livestock handling?
Oh, I think that having a program that just having a consistent program is so important. Something that everybody is trained in, and that all your animals are trained in also. I think that it's very important to have something like that. I just can't. We've seen the benefits financially and in handling animals in a more timely manner, and in less frustration from the staff. It all around is really a beneficial program.
I know one last question. We have a great industry, and the people in our industry, it's more of a life than it is a career. And so, we often think about what our legacy would be in the industry. And have you thought of that? How do you together want to be remembered in agriculture?
Well, I certainly would like to be remembered as somebody that had a nice group of animals and a well taken care of group of animals. Define success is kind of a difficult thing to define, but I think we can all think of successful producers, and that's a pretty common string amongst them, at least in my opinion. Well taken care of productive animals.
For sure. I think that for me, I think that contributing to the industry in such a way that it improves animal well-being, human well-being, and animal handling, and the whole circle, contributing to that as a whole, I think is really something that I think is a great thing. I think that those of us that are involved with livestock production have been given a unique role in this life, I think. And I think that it's important for us to be good stewards of the resources that we care for. And I think that it's important that we do our best. And when we decided to partner with Don with his program, I think that it was pretty clear that this is something really valuable, and that the whole livestock industry can use, and not to mention it's very valuable for when it comes to consumers as well. More than ever now, consumers want to know that
Animals are well taken care of.
Animals are cared for well, and progressive producers want to do that as well. And that's also another reason I think that we decided to approach Eurus about this as well, because obviously it was logical. I work for them, and right away, when I got involved in learning more about Don's program, I thought, well, gosh, this would, Eurus has boots on the ground on livestock productions worldwide. This is a valuable thing for them, and that would be a great way to make an impact. And but also they're progressive and like to link arms with producers that are forward thinking and progressive as well, which is something that's really valuable and important, and we want to move forward.
Just to reiterate that consumer point, to me, we often get wrapped up in our own days, and we have a hard time. Some of us, at least, I know I do, have a hard time kind of thinking past the farm gate. But that's such a big aspect right now. If we don't have a buyer for our milk, then we don't have an industry. That portion always has to stay at the forefront of our mind. And anything that we can do to show our consumers that how much we care about our animals, and that we're investing in both our animals and our people, try and treat them well. I think that's huge.
Yeah, produce a healthy,
really well said
product. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. And is there anything else you'd like to add?
We've had a lot of fun working with Don, and the results are very clear. The results are almost immediate. And I would recommend anybody who wants to really do their cows and people a favor to be giving them a call.
Awesome. Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And thanks to all who are watching or listening. If you want to learn more, you can head over to NorthAmericanAg.com and we will have the information there, and the links will be provided in the notes below as well. So thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
The way we conduct business in agriculture has endured a drastic change. Our handshake industry has traditionally been face-to-face, but with the cancellation of in-person events and farm shows, everyone has had to adapt, from farms to manufacturers to service providers. With a dizzying array of marketing and digital business choices, you need to make the right decisions or risk not being seen at all. If you need advice or a customized plan for your business, don't hesitate to reach out to me at chrissywozniak.com or chrissy.info, because that's easier to spell. Don't risk not pivoting your business. Find a path that will take you into the digital space and be seen by our industry.